Often people ask me, you studied literature and you work at the university, so what does a scholar of literature actually do? If the first thing that comes to your mind is reading, I have to admit that this is not entirely wrong. Scholars of literature do indeed read a lot. But in contrast to most people, we do not only read for fun, but also for work. So when we finish a book, the real work mostly just starts. We place the texts and books we read in their historical context and try to find out what the function of a particular text actually was or is. Sometimes we also do research on certain topics in different books and try to find out how an issue was treated in literature over a period of time, or what different viewpoints can be found in public debates and progresses. Also, we look at aesthetical techniques, point out how they developed and, for example, changed our view on the world. And for sure, we discuss new books, debate what they can tell us about our contemporary society and why they could give readers insights to new dimensions of their lives and to the world around them. On an abstract level, you could say that literature scholars have, besides some others, two main tasks. We function as disseminators of information in society, and we are the preservers of a cultural heritage. Now, what does that mean? On the one hand, scholars of literature, as all humanities scholars, spread and therefore multiply the knowledge about culture and literature. This can happen in numerous occasions, for example via written reviews in newspapers and magazines, at literature festivals or in theaters. This way, we do not only help you finding a good read or a suitable Christmas present for your parents, but we make people aware of books that open their minds, broaden their perspectives, and might show them the world in a way they have never seen it before. So basically, we enter people's minds by promoting certain texts. That might sound a bit scary, and the truth is that our work comes with a good amount of responsibility. History taught us that literature can be very influential, but with the power of thoughts also comes the potential to work for a better world. On the other hand, scholars of literature function as preservers, as which we keep books and therefore an important part of our cultural heritage alive. We reread old and not so old texts, try to find out whom they influenced and what they can still tell us. In essence, we preserve culture to learn from the past. And by looking at old texts and re-evaluating them again and again, we do actually nothing less than asking the big questions of where do we come from and where do we go to? Therefore, we help to give orientation in a world that becomes more and more complex every day. However, most of the time we don't work towards one certain aim and we are not necessarily trying to come up with the one and only right solution to a problem. Nevertheless, we think that old texts sometimes can be the key to a current situation in the sense that we learn how to look at challenges from different angles and discover perspectives that we might not even have thought of before. And this way we might also find the solutions we have just been looking for. Hence, it is important to us to discuss things and shed light on a problem from as many sides as possible in order to understand the topic with all its hidden layers. Some therefore might say that we only talk and go around in circles. But nowadays, professional communication is more important than ever, and by going in circles you will often see that you just feel like you're facing an obstacle that cannot be overcome, while in reality the way around it is not that difficult to find if you keep your eyes and your mind open. So, while we dive into the numerous worlds that hide behind the words, we normally don't try to escape the world, but to learn more about it. By looking at what has been, we hopefully do not just see more of today, but eventually also get the bigger picture in the end in order to shape the world of tomorrow.